Hello everyone, my name is Nhan. Today I would like to tell you about a conversation between a man and a woman. The conversation 1. The woman asked the man if he had heard that Sam had got a promotion. The man agreed with her, and he wanted to know the woman if it was great. The woman agreed with him, but she wished Pat had gotten one too, and she thought Pat really deserved it. The conversation too. The woman introduced herself, and she offered she could have the man. The man agreed with her, and he told he was calling from the accounting office, and he suggested speaking with the director. The woman sorry about the fact that the director wasn't in, and she introduced her. She was the director's assistant, and she thought she could help him. The conversation three. The man asked the woman what her special that night. The woman replied to the man they had fresh shrimp and roast beef. The man thought he would just order something from the regular menu. The conversation four. The man wanted to know the woman if anyone had called while he had been out. The woman answered he had a message from Mr. Peters, and Mr. Peters said he had finished painting the new office. The man was happy about that, and he suggested calling back and asked him send the bill to the accounting office. The conversation 5. The woman asked the man if it was his office. The man disagreed with her, and he said that it was Cindy's, and his office was at the end of the hall. The woman wanted to know the man, how he had got such a nice office, and she thought his boss had to really like him. The conversation 6. The man said to the woman he had received the bill from Mrs. Ortega. The woman wanted to know if Mrs. Ortega was his assistant, and she thought Mr. Wilson had been. The man replied that Mr. Wilson had been, but then Bob had recommended Mrs. Ortega, and she did a much better job. The conversation 7. The woman wanted to know what his daughter was doing that day. The man replied that his daughter was at the university and she studied the economics. The woman was surprised about that. She said to the man she had thought his daughter would become a lawyer like him. The conversation 8. The man asked the woman if she had saw Jim since his surgery. The woman disagreed with him, and she said that Linda and she planned to visit Jim in the hospital that afternoon. The man was happy with that, and he said to the woman, Jim's wife said, Jim really wanted to visit us. The conversation 9. The woman asked her if Sandy's car parked the front door. The man disagreed with her. He said that it was Tom's and Tom was a new secretary. The woman suggested Tom move his car because he had parked in the director's space. The conversation 10. The man asked the woman how much the bus was fare. The woman answered it was $1.15. She asked the man if he wanted the transfer. The man disagreed with her, and he suggested tell him when they got his stop. He explained that he was going to the central post office.